Hey Hawks, thanks for tuning in to the El Dorado podcast. Just a reminder that you can find our Hawk Talk episodes on YouTube at EDHS Video Production, with more fun content on our Instagram at EDHS_Hawk Talk. And obviously this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other streaming platforms where you would regularly find podcasts. Enjoy another wonderful episode from El Dorado.
What's up, El Dorado? I'm your host, Jaden Lum, and I'm here with a couple of seniors from Eldo. And if you could please introduce yourselves with first and last name and maybe what you do at school and outside of school.
Hi, I'm Taytum Teague, and I do advanced graphic design in the DMIA.
I'm Lizzie Gremer, and I do AP photography, and I am in CSF.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carline Dong, and I'm the ASP Vice President and NHS Vice President, and then was in Song and Mock Trial and ED Law.
And do you guys have maybe like a job? And if so, how many hours do you spend working at that job on a weekly basis?
I don't have a job, but I'm like sort of sorting stuff out before I do.
I work at Albertsons, the grocery store, and on average, I'd say I work like 16 to 20 hours a week.
What do you do at Albertsons?
I'm a courtesy clerk, so I'll like bag groceries or I'll go get carts. I kind of do whatever they need me to do, I guess. If there's like a spill, I'll clean it up. If somebody needs, something from the back, I'll go get it. And then I also work in the Starbucks, like coffee bar inside the Albertsons.
How long have you been working at Albertsons?
A year and like 8 or 9 months now, I think. I started working there the summer before my junior year.
What time do you usually get home after work?
It depends. My usual shift after, like my after school shift, is usually like 3 to 7. Because I don't have a 5th or 6th period, so I start work about 3-ish and I'm off by 7. Sometimes I'll take later shifts, but yeah, I'd say 7, maybe 8:30 is the latest I'd usually be home.
And how does that interfere with the amount of like maybe the sleep you get or how much time you have to do homework?
It depends on how much homework I have. Usually I don't have a ton because I get some of it done usually at school, or I try and do as much as I can before I have to leave for work. Sometimes I have to stay up a little later than I would like to get stuff done. But if I kind of space out how much time I give for my projects, I can usually get them done ahead of time, or at least if I'm like crunching a deadline, it's not like too late. Maybe I'll end up going to bed at like 11. That's about it.
That's a very healthy sleep schedule. Mm-hmm. So now, what are some skills that you guys feel like you've kind of developed throughout high school?
I think mostly just like focusing, and in class I tend to focus a bit more, and I focus a lot more on my work than like talking to people. I mean, like there's still people I talk to. It's just I just focus more on my work.
I'd say like social skills, and like obviously I've grown academically through the years, but I think I've really gained like good social skills being here. Having to do group work and like branching out and meeting new people has been like a big part of high school for me. So yeah, I'd say like good social skills.
I think just getting my priorities straight, because I think coming into high school, I was like, I want to get this academic and I want to do this AP and this AP. And like, I kind of just had a reality check going into like my junior and senior year, realizing like not everything has to be about academics. Not everything has to be about like extracurriculars. And like, I could just have a little bit more fun with my life and not just completely be the perfect student, I guess.
You mentioned extracurricular activities, and I know specifically you're in a lot of them. How do you all tend to like balance between school, extracurriculars, your personal life, your work life, all of that?
I think it's like knowing when to do what, I guess, but like also knowing that your teachers are here for you, your staff are here for you to help you. So like just talking with them about what you need from them and what like extensions that they can give you, or if like you're struggling with this part, then they can help you with that so you can invest more time into something else. I think just like I said, keeping your priorities straight and just knowing what's more important at what time.
I think like learning how to prioritize things. I think having a job and going to school has really helped me with like time management skills. Like I know, how much time I have to set aside for homework before work, how much like time, like what kind of cushion of time do I need to give myself for certain things, while also being able to go out and hang out with friends and like having alone time and like taking care of myself.
I do totally agree, because you just gotta personally I just try to figure out what needs to be done first, and then I just sort of also in a way just go through what I know, and then if need be I'll ask for help on like certain projects. It's just all sort of about time management and just sort of prioritizing the most like urgent projects.
I think like there's no perfect way. It's like there's a perfect way for you, and you have to just kind of like figure that out yourself, I guess.
Now, can you guys list where you applied to college or where you plan on going?
I'm currently going to go to Orange Coast College since I live like 15 minutes away and I live in Santa Ana. So it was just 15 minutes away. I was like, okay, I'll just go here since it's nearby. And there's also a good art program there. So I'm like, okay, why not?
I'm going to go to San Diego Canyon Community College. I've just heard a lot of good things about it in general. So
I'm waiting for 2 more decisions back, but I think right now what I'm leaning towards is like Cal Lutheran or Santiago.
Congrats to all of you guys. So I know you guys both mentioned that you guys are going to community colleges, and I know you mentioned that it was kind of just near your house. Is there any other reason specifically why you chose that community college rather than a different one?
I believe there was like the program I'm going to do at Orange Coast, and I saw that it had a character design like class, and I do character design and art. So I was like, you know what, this is going to be a good opportunity to learn like the more in-depth things about character design. So I wanted to quickly take the opportunity.
I've had people like in my personal life that have gone to San Diego and they loved it. I've gotten like just like random people when I've told them I'm like applying to community colleges. They're like, oh, you should go to San Diego. Like, and I was like, okay. So I started researching it. They have like a nice campus, and it's I know a lot of people who went there said it felt like a real like college experience while still going to community college. And well, it's quite a bit cheaper than going to a 4-year. And if you do your FAFSA and everything, you can get 2 years free. So I'm going to go there for 2 years.
Yeah, I know you mentioned to me personally about transferring to either a 4-year or a specialty program. Can you kind of maybe tell me more about that, what a specialty program is, the difference between the two?
So like a specialty program would be you would be going through like a 2-year course, or at least the one I would be going to would be like a 2-year course. Yeah, I know you can do it at like some community colleges. Like I think Cypress has a medical imaging program there, and you would just go through and you do 2 years of like specialty courses and classes. And at the end of that 2 years, you can get your certification.
Now, when it came to like stress with kind of figuring out where you guys wanted to go, or just the whole college application process in general and what was going to suit you the most, how did you cope with that stress?
I think looking towards or like looking at the colleges, everyone is stressing, go to Fullerton, go to Harvard, go to this and this and this. I'm like, that is really hard to get into. Because a lot of those colleges, they mostly look for like business, I think. Like, I'm not really that sure because I didn't really research that much into it. But I was kind of stressed because I was like, well, this doesn't really suit what I want to do. So I kept trying to find good colleges for art and for like what I do. And so when my uncle actually recommended Orange Coast, I was like, okay, I'll look into that because that's where he went. And so I looked into it and I saw that it had that program. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll apply to this one because this actually seems to fit my needs.
I didn't really have too much stress with it because I knew I was going to do community college, and the community college like application process is quite a bit easier than applying to a 4-year. And it's almost like you're more guaranteed to get in as long as you do your application early enough and they have enough room for classes and everything. I kind of knew like junior year, I had decided that I was going to go to community college. I just hadn't decided like which one until like in the middle of like last year. So I wasn't that stressed about it, because I knew kind of where I was going and how it was going to work out for me.
I'm going to be honest with you. My coping just meant a lot of crying. Like, I am one to stress out over every little thing. And, like, I didn't know where I wanted to go. And I didn't know, like, these certain programs. And, like Taytum touched on it. Like, everybody tells you, go to Harvard, go to all these things. And, like, I didn't really want to go to any of those schools. Like, it didn't call me in that type of way. So, like, I just got so overwhelmed with how many choices, because if you look into college, there's a college for literally everything, and there's like 50 colleges in like one city, and it's insane just to think about. Like, there's so many choices for you. But I think one of the things that helped was the fact it's like introducing mantras into your head, like wherever you go, it's where you're meant to go, and like putting down the pride of like, I need to go to an Ivy League, I need to go to a top school. Like, a top school doesn't really matter necessarily. It more matters of what you want to do. And like how Tatum was saying, like Orange Coast has her program, and like there are schools out there that don't have the name recognition like Harvard, but they're better for you specifically.
I think it was great, though, to kind of emphasize the point of, like, being where you want to be and what's going to suit your needs rather than, like, expectations that were set from somebody else, which is super duper admirable from you guys. So I know you kind of mentioned your interests and why you're going to specific colleges. What are you guys each majoring in?
I really want to do like design work, like not only character design, but like graphic design, which is, I'm in the advanced program here. It's where you like make a bunch of like logos and stuff, and like you I don't know, it's just a lot of good opportunities.
When I was applying for college, they made you pick a major, and I just put biotechnology because I think that was like the closest to what I'm going to be doing. So I haven't really decided if I'm going to major in anything else, but I mean, I know I want to go into the medical imaging field, so kind of whatever gets me there, I guess.
Biotech sounds so sick. That's so cool.
It sounds really cool too, yeah.
What is medical imaging?
So MRIs, CAT scans, PET scans, all like anytime you have to like, you know, take x-rays or you go through like your MRI, somebody has to like run the machines and take the pictures for them. And that's what I want to do.
How did you know that that was kind of what you wanted to do?
Sophomore year, I had to get an MRI because I was having some medical issues. But like, I did not like small spaces. So like, you know, going in an MRI, you're in like this giant tube with like essentially like a magnet spinning around you, and you can hear all of it. And I thought I'd be like so terrified, but luckily my head was out. But I was just like thinking the whole time, like, this is so cool. Like I could hear all of like the things moving, and like the lady talking to me from the thing, and she was like walking me through it, and I was like, this is really, really cool, actually. I love this. So after that, I was like, I think I want to do that. Like, I want to know how like the machine works and like how you run it, and like how, like why you can see like your insides just from like taking photos, essentially. Like you can see all these like cool things inside the human body using machines, and I wanted to know how you do that.
I am so basically, I chose business admin. UCs were business admin, and then as I looked into more like of the majors, I chose more like journalism and marketing-ish area. But
so now can we elaborate on, you know, maybe why, like, when did you start getting into art and graphic design?
I actually did art when I was very little. Like, I would draw like on like a bunch of like papers, like I would ask my mom to, hey, can I have a piece of paper? She's like, okay. And then I just started drawing on it. And then so at first I would draw animals. And then as I grew up, I wanted to practice people. And I'm like, okay, I'll just practice people. And then during middle school, I think they were handing out or like emailing the DMAA application. I was like, okay, I'll do that. During Mr. Block's graphic design class, I was like, okay, I really like this, but I also like this character design stuff. So I don't know, it just sort of stuck with me.
So she's been an artist since she was born.
Really?
She came out drawing. Yeah. So you mentioned business admin. Please elaborate what that is.
business admin is business administration. So it's like management, basically, kind of, I think. I might have just done the wrong major. But
Like, what are you aiming for to be when you grow up?
originally, I wanted to be a lawyer since, like, I was 6 years old, because I thought a lawyer was a manager, because I was like at a hometown buffet and there's a manager there, and I was like, I want to be him, and I thought that was a lawyer. So then I gaslit myself into trying to be a lawyer. And then when I came into Eldo, it was like one of the career days. There's a Taco Bell PR lady, and I fell in love, not with the lady, but with the PR job. Because I just realized, like, that is exactly what I like doing. And that it's like the marketing side, but it's also like you have to deal with the people image. And then it's also like the party planning side. Like, I love all that. And it just made me realize, like, there's other things out there. And then when I did Hawk Talk, it kind of opened me to like broadcast and filmmaking. So with the business admin, marketing, journalism major, it allows me to choose what I want to do in the future.
Do you think that, you know, you mentioned like really having kind of like a love for like party planning, like planning in general, like all of that stuff. Do you think that ASB, that's part of like a thing that you love about ASB?
Yes, absolutely. I think like ASB, the work side, is what I love so much, and that's what I adore about it. And like just the stress of planning an event, like people screaming at you, you screaming at people. Like, it's so fun to me. I thrive in that chaos.
Now, as you guys are obviously all seniors, what are you guys looking forward to in the next 2 to 3 months that you have left here?
I don't know, just kind of getting through high school and also enjoying myself and just continue drawing because that's what I do.
You know, my last of the school dances and, you know, going to grad night, graduation, like all that stuff. You know, I just want to experience all of it before it's gone.
So sad.
I know.
I think, like, obviously graduation, because I'm so excited to not trip on the turf, because none of us are going to do that. No. But I think just, like, living my life finally in a way where I don't really care what people think about me, because, like, we got 3 months left. I'm not going to see a lot of these people later. So, like, I think just finally accepting the fact that, like, if they don't like you, they don't like you. So I think living in that mantra and mindset.
Now, with that mindset, do you guys think that seniority, aka maybe senioritis, is that real?
Yes, absolutely.
Especially second semester. Oh my goodness.
It's like you can't really do anything like to affect your future. Obviously, you want to do good, but like if I pass, then I pass, I guess.
Yeah, I was like obsessed with having like all A's and like having the perfect grade. And now it's like if I have a couple B's, it's not going to be the end of my life. I'm okay with it.
I mean, it's like a part of me is like feeling it because I'm graduating in like a few months now and I'm like stressing to get all this work in. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, sure, I'll just do the work and just do whatever. I mean, it's fine.
And now, I know you mentioned earlier high school dances and trying to get in all the last school events that you have. How did that mindset that we were just talking about affect your attitude towards those school events?
Just like enjoying as much as you can, live in your like own little bubble with your friends. Like, you know, go out and dance on the dance floor. Who cares? Nobody is looking at you thinking, oh, they're so weird. Everybody's dancing. Go for it. Like, just let loose. Have like a great time with your friends. Go make memories because this is like, that is your opportunity to make memories. Those are the things that you're going to remember when you leave high school.
I wish I started earlier thinking like that. Like, literally be a freshman and dance your heart out on that floor, or like scream your head off at a game. Like, no one cares because no one's going to remember your experience. You're the only one who's going to remember your own experience.
Now, I kind of wanted to get in towards like advice that you guys would have. So what advice do you guys have for current 8th graders that are going to be freshmen soon?
Well, this is more like for advice for like all underclassmen. First, don't stress about college right now. You're literally going to have to worry about that junior or like senior year. So like relax, okay? Second, don't stress about what to do because, I mean, that's kind of hypocritical because I already knew what I wanted to do. But if you don't know what you want to do, that's fine. Just figure it out as you go. And like a lot of adults, they don't know what they want to do and they already graduated college. So just don't worry about it.
Find your people. Find like a group of people or even just like one person that you really resonate with. It's a lot easier to get through high school if you have people around you, especially good people. And, you know, middle school's very different from high school. So your people in middle school might not be the same people that you have in high school. You know, you all grow, you all change. Just find the people that you grow with the best, I think.
I would say don't live in fear. I live by a couple of phrases in my life. It's not that serious. Do it for the plot. And one of my favorite phrases now is don't be afraid of the highs because of the lows. So I think like not living in this like, oh, she's going to hate me, he's going to hate me, or like all that stuff. Just talk to them. Like, we're not that scary. None of us are scary. Like, whatever grade you're trying to talk to, whatever person you're trying to talk to, like, we're probably all in the same boat. We're just high school kids trying to get through life. So, like, just talk and have fun.
I can definitely agree with that. First, because I'm a sophomore right now. And when I came to El Dorado, especially coming from, I was out of district for middle school. So I knew nobody here. And the intimidation and, like, the fear that I felt talking to upperclassmen, it was definitely there. And it's just the minute that you actually get to know them and you, like, open up and you try and be outgoing, it's like they're just people just like us. So I appreciate that. That was a very good message to go across because I think it's it's something that's said a lot, but it's also like people overlook it so often.
And I promise, like, some people are mean, and like that's gonna be like that. That's wherever you go. But like most of us are not gonna bite your heads off. So one mean person bites your head off, then just try the next person.
Now, what advice do you guys have for juniors that are about to start going through the same process of figuring out where they want to go to college or what they want their jobs to be or what they're going to do after high school or senior year?
I think it's what we touched on earlier. Like, if you're gonna apply to a college, like for example, if what you want to do is at Harvard, then go to Harvard. But just find something that fits your needs. And don't listen to people that tell you to go to like Fullerton or like Ivy League and it doesn't have something you want.
You can take into consideration what other people say, obviously, but do what's best for you. Don't, go to a certain college just because everybody's telling you need to. Don't go to a 4-year right away just because, everybody's telling you like, oh, you have to go to a 4-year, you got to do this, you got to do that. Do what's best for you, both financially and for your future. You can, of course, take into consideration what other people say, like weigh the pros and cons, but ultimately the decision needs to be yours if you're going to be happy with your decision.
I went into high school thinking I was going to be a Harvard, Princeton, Yale commit girl. I am none of the above, but I think like knowing what your major is, knowing what you want to do and putting that into your college life, like, but you also have to consider like, do you want to rush? Do you want to be in clubs? Do you want to have a big school, a small school? Like there's so many things that you have to keep in mind that like it goes so unsaid. But I think if you are going to apply, start early. Don't procrastinate. Don't do it on the last day because that's what me and my friends did. And we stressed ourselves out and it was not fun. But I think being on the latter side where all the decisions are mostly out, I think like apply to safety schools. If you like want to, like if you know you want to go to a 4-year. And even if your dream school is your safety school, like that's completely fine as well. Like just have backups and don't sell yourself short, but also know you're going against the whole country. So like don't sell yourself short, but also be realistic. But also like wherever you end up going, it's fine.
Because I grew up in a household that was very much like, there was just like, I feel, not even just from family, but just myself, like a lot of expectations as to like where I see myself as this huge standards as I need to go to this, like a UC or I need to go to a 4-year. I need to be at that level. And I think that it's like very important to know the balance between, yes, it is important to go to like a good school. And if your idea of where you want to go is a college with a great name to it, then that's for you. But it's also important to know like wherever you're meant to be is where you're meant to be. And your college is going to have what's right for you. Now, finally, before we wrap the episode up, what has been your guys' favorite thing about El Dorado High School?
Getting to know like who I am, like I don't know, just like I just got to know myself better. Like I know specifically what I want and like how to get there. I don't know, just like getting to know myself a little bit better and sort of just spending time with the people I care about.
The people here, all the friends I've made here, and like the connections I've made, the things I've gotten to do with my friends after school, all the school events, so the football games, the dances, the pep rallies, all of that was really fun. I feel like we are a very peppy school. I know I've talked to other people, they're like, your school like outdoes it almost. Like we go hard sometimes, especially at like home games. And I think that's always fun. Like it's fun being on like the peppy side of the stadium, like getting to like jump around, and we have, when we have like, what are they called? The smoke bombs going, like all that stuff. That stuff is so much fun.
I've said this before, but I think like the why not moments, like why not join Hawk Talk my junior year, even though you have like 50 other things to do? Like, I think like those moments are the things that I never expected myself to do any of that. And it's like, oh, wow, you might actually be good at something. Or like, wow, you met all these new people like that are your best friends now. So I think high school is full of those why not moments, even if like you don't realize it. And I think that's so broad, but like just like living in high school with your fullest heart there. But yeah.
I know I'm not a senior and upperclassman yet, but I think I agree. And I feel like I realize this, especially now. I mean, I've only been here for 2 years, but the importance of getting involved at high school it's going to make your experience here 10 times better. And I know it's so cliche and everybody says it. Like everybody and their mother is always telling you to get involved and it's going to make it so much more fun. But without the experiences of going to dances and going to football games and, joining clubs, it's pretty much just work 24/7. And I think the balance of work and play makes it all worth it in the end.
I think even if you're scared, just do it. Because even if one dance is bad, the next dance might be great. Because I've cried at every single dance up until winter formal, and I had the time of my life there. So even if some things are bad, there doesn't matter because there's gonna be some great things out there waiting for you.
Thank you, guys. This wraps up our episode. Thank you so much for sitting down with us, guys. And thank you, Hawks, for tuning in on another episode from the El Dorado podcast.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Thank you for tuning into the Hawk Talk podcast. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or on Buzzsprout. Come back for the next episode where we will be just as amazing.